Hello and welcome to the Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. I'm quickly running out of energy. And I'm wondering if my camera is a little bit dusty. So if you remember, I'm doing a 12-week challenge. And today was day 58. So next Monday and then next Wednesday, I got 2 more days of the challenge and then it's over. There's a spiritual element. There is a physical element. For example, today I went jogging for 45 minutes and I'm just exhausted. And then there's the business element. Now, every so often, I'm reminded of this Portuguese proverb down here at the bottom of the screen. It says, in a blacksmith's house, wood skewer. So the idea is I talk to project managers, and then they don't manage their own lives like they would manage a project. And I talk to guys from consulting firms, and their consulting firms are lacking the principles and policies which they are implementing in other people's companies. And so there's this idea of a blacksmith, and it happens to coaches. Maybe it happens to parents. So the parents, they tell their kids what they think their kids should be doing, and then they turn around and they go and do the opposite. So we have lots and lots of these experiences. And there's one lady, I was working with her, and she was putting together some marketing messages. And in Tom's book, Create Crucial Insight, there is a checklist where, it's a game called, it's the 2 brain games. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find some practical application of your product or service and some emotional element. And really great marketing messages are going to have some practical appeal and some emotional appeal. And after we constructed a whole bunch of marketing messages for her and the project that she was working on, she turned around and said, "Hey, do you use this for your own project?" And I was like, well, I'm not really at the point where I need to be deploying marketing messages. Where am I? Another experience was I was working with a lady earlier this week, and the first time we met, it was quite interesting because we were able to very quickly pinpoint. We used one of these checklists, and it was she wanted to use the styles checklist, and then we were able to identify some issues that she was dealing with at work. And then, she just asked me, like last time we met, she's like, "Hey, I really need some alignment with a variety of different groups of people within our company." And I said, "Alignment, all right, so that's impact. We need to start here." And then we started to kind of work on that concept, but she couldn't really structure the deliverables until we really understood what the teams were, who was involved in this work, who was going to be working together. And so we started to think about catalyzing. And then finally, then we said, well, what's the overall big picture scenario? So then we were in strategic. So we pulled out state progress, we pulled out state teamwork, we pulled out impact. And it was just a series 1, 2, 3. These are the things. We start from the top and go through the checklist one by one. Another gentleman that I met with today, he was talking about some of his personal goals, and he said, sometimes I just don't have the energy or strength or time to get involved or to create. And so we were able to look at all right, so you're talking about potential. You're working with and I asked him, well, what's the difference between ally with or create? Are you trying to reinvent the wheel, or do you just want to work with some other people who are working on a similar project? So it's been a very long week. And the question is, in my house, how am I using these principles and these dimensions in order to drive my own project? Do I really know what the endeavor is? What do I really want to accomplish here?